The Trump presidency and the president back on the road after a weekend meeting with Republican congressional leaders about the GOP agenda. Those meetings happened as members of his White House staff fought off the claims made in the best-selling book Fire and Fury. CBS 4's Eliott Rodriguez in the control room with the details. Hi, Eliott.
Hi, Rick. President Trump is on the move this evening. He is in Nashville, Tennessee, addressing farmers before taking off for the national championship college football game in Atlanta. He's also attacking the author of that new book that paints him in a very unflattering light.
The president stopped by the American Farm Bureau convention in Tennessee, telling farmers his policies will help them.
As we put money back in the pockets of all Americans, including our farmers and ranchers, we're also putting an end to the regulatory assault on your way of life. And it was an assault indeed.
Behind the scenes, Mr. Trump's legal team is in discussions with the Office of Special Counsel Robert Mueller to set the stage for a possible interview of the president as part of the probe into possible Russian collusion. The president is also taking on Michael Wolff, author of the explosive book Fire and Fury, which paints a picture of a president who doesn't read and questions whether he's even fit to serve.
Everything in the book is true.
Wolff appeared on CBS this morning to defend his work.
I've spent about 3 hours talking to the president over the course of the campaign, the transition, and in the White House.
President Trump fired back on Twitter, saying he's a genius, and a very stable genius at that. He calls the book a work of fiction.
I never interviewed with him in the White House at all. He was never in the Oval Office. We didn't have an interview.
Wolff was less definitive when asked whether or not he interviewed the president.
I think he probably had no idea he was speaking to me for this book. When I would meet the president in the White House, we would chat as though we were friends. I'm sure he didn't think they were interviews. And in all fairness, he might say, I was not being interviewed.
Well, today the Trump administration ended temporary protected status for Salvadorans living in the United States. They must now leave the country voluntarily or face deportation. Miami Congresswoman Eliott Ros-Lehtinen sent out a tweet today saying, quote, it's unconscionable for the president to terminate the much-needed TPS status of more than 200,000 people from El Salvador who have been here for years working legally and sending remittances to their families. Opponents of the move say it will destabilize Central America and is unfair to thousands of Salvadorans who contribute to their local economies. Rick and Lauren, back to you.
Eliott, thanks very much, and look for much more on the Trump presidency tonight on the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor. That's at 6:30 after the CBS 4 News at 6.